Hello everyone! I'm the Mighty Blues, and welcome back to Minecraft. Last time, we killed the Ender Dragon and beat the game. You know we beat Minecraft because we got the 30-minute credits that show up at the end of the game. Yeah, seriously, those credits are 31 minutes. I didn't know that. I couldn't remember how long the credits were because I skipped them the first time I ever beat Minecraft. And while I was recording, I was like, alright, well, I'm done saying what I needed to say, so I'm just going to let the credits roll, and then I'll end the video. So I just was scrolling through Twitter throughout the entire thing. And then I was just like, wait, how long are the credits to this game again? And then I ended up Googling it while the video was still recording, mind you. And yeah, it's 31 minutes. Anyways, today, we've got a lot to talk about. And one of those things is, don't kill dolphins, you monster. Oh, hello, buddy. How are you? You happy I'm home? I'm happy to be home. Anyways, now that we're in our house, first order of business, we got this dragon egg that we need to do something with. I figured it's a good idea to find a place to display it somewhere. And Terry, what are you doing over here? And I think what better place to display it than to put it near our nether wart, somewhere in the basement. You know, I actually think we're going to stick it back here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this lava, and I'm going to stick it, I'm going to make like a separate room. That's usually what I like to do, is I like to have a room dedicated to the dragon egg, because that's a really big achievement. Getting the dragon egg is no easy feat, unless you're someone who created a million of them in creative mode. Cough, cough, wheeze, wheeze, the dark Victrojan. I don't want to give too much shade, but yeah, that's one of the funniest things. Like, I just want to share this story while I start to put together this room. I believe I've mentioned this during my vlogs, where, I give everybody the ability to do whatever they want in our server. So if you're someone who wants to build, you know, everything in creative mode, you want to give yourself everything in creative mode, you absolutely have the power to do so. Like, I will not hold you, you know, I will not get mad at you for doing that. But the Dark Victrojan decided he literally wanted to give himself everything in creative mode, and that also included giving himself extra Ender Dragon eggs. And I actually got got this egg legitimately, and I remember his girlfriend bringing that up, being like, yeah, so we just have an entire chest full of eggs, what do they do? And I'm like, they don't do anything unless they don't do anything. They're a reward for killing the Ender Dragon. And she's like, oh, well, we have an entire chest full of them. Yeah, I just remember hearing that and just could not help but laugh. It's like, yeah, that's entirely useless. Like, the only one that's worth anything is the one that you get for actually killing the Ender Dragon. But anyways, this isn't going to take too long. I'm doing this in creative mode just so that way I don't waste my own time. I'm just going to create like a simple room right here. And we're just going to display the Ender Dragon egg in the middle. Alright, there we go. Nothing too crazy, just something nice and simple. Just wanted to have something that would fit the aesthetic of the end. So decided to use whatever this block is called, endstone, to put this here. And I also decided to put a nice pedestal made out of bedrock, as that matches the same material used to make the teleporter for the end. And we're just going to stick our dragon egg on top. Now, I do want to talk about what would happen if you were to interact with this egg. If you were to right-click the egg, it will teleport to a random location. It won't teleport far, but it will teleport to a random location. So keep that in mind and don't touch it. That's the best advice I can give. Now, the next thing that I want to do, and ooh, this actually transitions perfectly into the next thing that I wanted to talk about. So, moving forward, for the rest of this Let's Play, or at least for the majority of the rest of this Let's Play, I'm actually not going to go to sleep whenever it turns into nighttime. And I know some of you may be like, Blues, that's insane. How could you go through the rest of this LP and not go to sleep? Like, that's going to spawn a lot of mobs. You don't like mobs because you're a little wussy baby boy. And you're going to have a harder time with the game. Yes, I'm aware. However, I'm doing this intentionally. The reason for that is because the only other thing that we really need to do for this Let's Play is we need to kill the Wither. And the rest of this video is going to be devoted on the strategy that I would recommend you do when taking down the Wither. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to talk about potion making. Up until now, I've really only ever used Potion of Healing, Potion of Strength, and Potion of Regeneration. But now that we've got Dragon's Breath, that allows us to make an entirely new type of potion. And I'm going to go over that here in a little bit. However, one of the potions that we're going to be brewing that I highly recommend you brew specifically for tackling the Wither is Potion of Slow Falling. And in order to get the Potion of Slow Falling, you need to have a specific item known as the Phantom Membrane. And the Phantom Membrane can only be obtained if you kill phantoms. And phantoms only ever appear if you don't sleep. So yeah. I need to grind for some Phantom Membranes, so moving forward, I will be preventing myself from sleeping as much as I possibly can. Is that going to make things a little bit more difficult because we're going to be having to deal with lots of mobs being spawned? Yes, but I'm willing to go through that if it means being able to collect the items I need in order to complete this Let's Play. The next thing I'd like to talk about is a specific item that you can craft that actually allows you to refight the Ender Dragon if you so feel like it. Yes, you technically have the ability to fight the Ender Dragon as much as you'd like. All you have to do is create what is known as an End Crystal. And with this formation, using 7 pieces of glass, an Eye of Ender in the center, and a gas tier, you are able to make an end crystal. You actually need 4 of these in order to respawn the Ender Dragon. And what you're supposed to do is when you return to the end, if you go to the end portal and put the end crystals in this specific formation, you will be allowed to refight the Ender Dragon, as this will allow the dragon to reappear. I'm not going to be doing that because I have zero desire to refight the Ender Dragon. The only way I would really say it's worthwhile to do that is A, a bajillion experience, and B, Dragon's Breath. Speaking of Dragon's Breath, let's go over what that does, shall we? And I just saw a creeper in the forest. There he is. Oh, there's like a little zombie playing with him. That's terrifying. Hello, spider friend. Now, Dragon's Breath. I talked about how it's really important you're going to want to grab this while you're fighting the Ender Dragon. Yes, it may make your adventure a little bit more dangerous, but I recommend you do this. And the reason why is because if we go over to our brewing station, if we take our dragon... Ooh, I actually am going to need one more. Alright, wanted to make sure I had 3 potions of healing, as that way I'm not wasting any materials. But I mentioned before that if you have 3 regular potions, if you mix them with gunpowder, it will actually turn it into a splash potion. Well, the main use, I believe this is the only use actually, for Dragon's Breath, is that if you have a splash potion of whatever potion you make, and you mix it with Dragon's Breath, this will give you lingering potions. Lingering potions are essentially more powerful versions of splash potions. They can be thrown, and they are able to create that scatter effect of whatever the potion is. Same thing as splash potions, although their blast radius is a little bit more potent. But the big thing with them is you are able to make tipped arrows. So, for 8 arrows and 1 lingering potion, we are able to make arrows of healing. You can do this for exactly every single type of potion, so long as you mix it with your Dragon's Breath. And I want to make the max amount of arrows of healing that I can. And I just now realized it will not let me do this multiple times because the potions don't stack. That's really stupid. Alright, well anyways, we now have 24 arrows of healing. Theoretically, I technically could have made just one because our bow has infinity, but I wanted to utilize all of my lingering potions. Again, don't want to waste any materials. Now, I'm not going to shoot this arrow. Well, actually, hold on. No, we are. I just now realized we have a bunch of enemies outside. Let's go fight something and see what happens if we shoot it with our arrow of healing. As I've mentioned before, that... Oh, did I just accidentally shoot that? Oh, I did, and that has the same effect. Oh, interesting. Also, I hear something outside. I thought I heard something outside. I assumed it was a creeper or something, but let's actually see if we can fight something. Hopefully something. There's gotta be, like, something in here that spawned, right? Alright, well, whatever. You get the gist. Tipped arrows do damage, as a normal arrow would do, but they will also do damage based on whatever effect they have. And I know some of you may be saying, Blues, that's really stupid. Why would you make 24 potions of healing, or arrows of healing, if you're just going to stab your opponent and then immediately heal them? Well, I've mentioned in previous episodes that the healing effect actually does the opposite effect if you were to use it on a mob, as a lot of the mobs are technically dead, so healing them would just do nothing but harm them. I don't believe this works on something like creepers per se, but it would definitely work on like a zombie or potentially even a skeleton. So I recommend making some tipped some tipped arrows now that you've got the ability to do that for literally every single effect. And if you ever run out of Dragon's Breath, which you'd have to make a lot of tipped arrows in order to do that, you can always go and refight the Ender Dragon, so long as you've got enough materials to actually make the End Crystals. Now, one thing I should also mention about the End Crystals, if you were to re-summon the Ender Dragon, be warned. You will have to you will accidentally close your end portal. You have to kill the Ender Dragon again in order to return to your world. Keep that in mind. So if you want to respawn the Ender Dragon, just make sure you're ready to kill the thing, because you're going to be stuck there. Oh yeah, I just now realized I talked earlier about how it's really important that you should make the potion of slow falling for dealing with the wither, but I didn't actually talk about why. So here's why you should make the potion of slow falling when getting ready to deal with the wither. It's not actually for the wither himself, although I would recommend you should do that just to save yourself from an accidental stupid death, because that could definitely happen. No, the big reason why I mentioned that you should probably make some potions of slow falling is there's a specific item that we should really go and look out for that's actually located in the end. I mentioned at the end of episode 41 that there was a structure off in the distance that we were going to have to go to eventually. That structure is, oh wow, I actually forgot the name of it, but essentially it's a fortress in the end. These fortresses are really important because they hold an incredibly important item that is crucial to killing the wither. And that is the Elytra. To those of you who will play Super Smash Brothers, you may actually know what the Elytra is, because that is Steve's up special. You're going to want to get a hold of one of these bad boys, because these things are the only items that allow you to fly in survival mode. Now, the other thing that would be important to craft alongside this, if I can look it up, right here, fireworks. I actually don't know how to make fireworks. Wait, it's really just... How do you make firework stars? Oh, it's just gunpowder and ink sacs? Or dye? Really? Fireworks are easy to make. Okay, well... While I talk about this, I'll make some fireworks then. Yeah, so you're going to want to make some fireworks, because fireworks will allow you to fly a little bit easier with the Elytra. You're going to want to make an Elytra because the wither is an airborne enemy. It's forever airborne. You could fight the wither normally just by on the ground shooting it with arrows, stuff like that. That's why tipped arrows would be a really good strategy, because you'd be able to deal some extra damage while you're on the ground. But I don't recommend you do that purely because the wither deals some nasty, nasty attacks. And unless you're able to freely dodge them, you're gonna have a harder time. Plus, you're gonna have a harder time regardless because you're gonna be on the ground and this thing's gonna be flying. Unless you're just an absolute god at aiming, you're not gonna be doing a whole lot of damage. And on top of that, the Wither deals explosive damage. So, yeah, you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot if you decide that you're going to fight the Wither on foot. That's why I recommend collecting the Elytra, as the Elytra will allow you to fly. That means you can fly around, have an easier time dodging attacks, so on and so forth. And wow, for one... Wait, really? For one fireworks star, you get 3 fireworks. Dang. Okay, I guess I don't need the... I guess I don't need... Oh, you can just make... Wow, you can just make normal fireworks with just paper and gunpowder. But I wanted to make color ones, since I had dye that I didn't know what to do with. Alright, well, we now have 9 fireworks. I guess I might as well show off what fireworks do on their own, aside from what they do with the Elytra. But yeah, so I recommend making the potions of slow falling specifically through exploring these fortresses. But I left my door open. Oh, good. The reason why I recommend making the potion of slow falling for, specifically the, end fortresses that we're going to be dealing with is because there's an enemy in there that, has the ability known as levitation. It literally has an attack where it will shoot you with a projectile, and if you get hit by the projectile, you will get hit with levitation. So having slow falling would be great, because then you don't have to worry about, accidentally, taking fall damage when your levitation wears off. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but we finally get to talk about one of my favorite games of all time during our Minecraft Let's Play. What enemy am I talking about that will cause levitation whenever it hits you? Well, let me introduce you to the Monado boy himself, the Shulker! Shulkers are enemies that are, they're glass cannons. They're really good for offense, not really good for defense, although they do have some pretty good defensive abilities. But for the most part, you're going to want to have as good of agility as you can with this character in order to make sure that they don't take as much damage as, say maybe your tanks like Rhine or maybe even Dunban if you fortify them that way. And you're just going to want to maximize attack. Dealing lots of damage with the Monado art, such as Monado Buster, Monado Cyclone, so on and so forth. They're really good. Plus, Shulker is a fantastic character for dealing break damage, which is awesome for setting up combos with Topple and Daze. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to. When I found out these enemies' names were called Shulkers, I just thought to myself, yeah, I gotta make a Xenoblade reference. I have to make a Xenoblade reference. I'm sorry, non-Xenoblade fans. Which, let's face it, that's the rest of the world except for me. I had to. Now, Shulkers are these little enemies that will hide inside shells that have massive defense. That if they see you, they will shoot a little bullet at you, and if you get shot by the bullet, you will levitate for up to 10 seconds before falling to the ground. Shulkers also have the ability to teleport. They have a 25% chance of teleporting once they've taken a certain amount of damage, and they're completely overrun in the end fortresses. So having some slow falling would be great if you're dealing with them. But I think it's important that we show off some fireworks. Was that the white firework? I actually can't tell what these fireworks are. Oh yeah, that was the white firework. I wonder what they look like if you do it at night. I want to show that off, actually. But I guess we can also show off the cyan one. Or that's the pink one. And we can also show off the cyan one. Not really anything all that special. The explosions is a little bit different, but still cool nonetheless. And they will be... Ow. They will be helpful when dealing with the Wither, as they will give you a boost when using the Elytra. So, really all that's left is, I kind of want to... I believe I've actually shown off the Phantoms. I'm pretty sure I've done it in a previous episode, but if we haven't, I just want to end off today by showing off what they look like, just so that way you know what you're looking for. We're going to go into creative mode, just so that way I can spawn one of these bad boys. Obviously, off screen, I'm going to go ahead and grind them so that way I can get the membrane that I'm looking for, as the membrane is what you need to, again, get the potion of slow falling. I want to be able to grind a few of these before we even tackle the end fortresses, which that's what we're going to be doing next, by the way. For those of you wondering what we're going to be doing after today, yes, we will be tackling the end fortresses, as I really want to get that Elytra before we even think about dealing with the Wither. I guess one of the last strategies that I could give with the Wither is, if you're willing to cheat just a little bit, I recommend building a room out of bedrock, because again, the Wither is an enemy that will cause explosions upon its attacks, and if you don't want it blowing up your house, either make sure it is spawned far, far away, or it's spawned in a room where it literally can't blow anything up, aka bedrock. Also, if you're willing to cheat, create a spawner in this room. Yeah, I'm serious. Create a spawner in this room. You could do, like, completely harmless mobs, but try to make sure they're enemy mobs, just because the Wither has an ability where if it shoots enemies, it will turn them into Wither Roses. Wither Roses are really good for grinding Potions of Decay, assuming you are playing Minecraft Bedrock Edition, as Potions of Decay are the only ones that are Bedrock exclusive. Now, for those of you wondering what the Phantom is, that's this little guy. Again, they will only spawn if you have not slept for, I want to say, anywhere from 3 to 5 days straight. They just stay in the air, and they do die in the daytime, so keep that in mind. But upon killing them, you will actually get a Phantom Membrane. Not always, but that is the item that they drop. So, I'm going to have to grind these bad boys out for a little bit. I'm going to do that off screen, because I actually have to wait for nighttime to show up. I mostly just wanted to show what you get for killing one. And with that being said, I actually think that's going to be it for today. Don't know if this is going to be any, a shorter episode per se, because my timer shows 35 minutes, but I'm assuming it's going to be a lot less than that, because a lot of this was spent preparing things. So, now you know some things that are really good for dealing with the Wither, and also dealing with the end fortresses. So, next time on Minecraft, we're actually going to go back to the end. We're going to head back into the stronghold. And actually, you know what? No, we're not going to end things off just yet. I think it might be fun to go and explore the rest of the stronghold. And of course, we are going to do it in creative mode, because I'm a scared little sissy boy, and I really don't want to deal with extra mobs right now. It is early in the morning. I am relaxed. I have been off of work for a few hours, so I really don't want to deal with any extra stress, because I'm going to bed as soon as this video is done. So let's head back down to the stronghold, shall we? And let's just do a little bit of exploring. Swap a night vision potion. That way I don't have to light the way. Did I? Oh, I didn't actually throw that. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright. Welcome to the stronghold. I mentioned before that the strongholds really don't hold a whole lot. They're essentially like a giant prison system. However, the big thing that you're going to want to look for in strongholds are the libraries. As to me, the best strategy is to find the library and usually just dig around in the walls in order to find an alternative passage. So, like, for example, we headed over here and we were able to go, what is it, up here? Ah, yes, up here. And that's where our end portal is. As you can tell, our end portal still works. As long as those Eyes of Ender are still in there, they will work. But if we continue, we can actually see that we can find some stuff. Got some iron swords, some iron leggings. You can also hear that there are enemies throughout here. There's also a block of dirt in the middle of the floor. That probably means there was an Enderman in here. But yeah, so essentially this place is a multi-layered maze. It's designed to just be a big prison system. There's going to be mobs everywhere, although I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't ran into any. Like, oh, and really? End pearls are here. Interesting. Also dead end here. But yeah, you're essentially just going to find a lot of chests in here. As far as I know, the rewards really aren't fantastic. It's mostly just armor, I guess. Some end pearls. Or ender pearls. The big thing that you're going to want to look for is that library. That's why I keep mentioning look for that library. Not entirely sure if strongholds hold multiple libraries, but they at least hold one. And they do vary in size. The one we found is actually really small. I've seen some ginormous libraries that actually do hold chests with enchanted books. So if you find a library, look around. I didn't look inside ours because it was just small and I didn't care. I was a scared little boy who just didn't want to deal with the stronghold. But I want to see if I can look around a little bit more and see if we can find something at least. Because, wow, this stronghold is bare. I'm actually not feeling all that bad that we did not explore much of this stronghold. This place has nothing. Oh. Here we go. As soon as I said something. This is a library. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, usually somewhere, there will be, multiple chests. There's two chests. This one just has a bunch of books and paper. Nothing all that special. In here. Ooh, wow. Wow. These are some fantastic enchantment books. I'm sorry if someone is mad that, I'm cheating and getting all this stuff, through creative mode. I'm sorry. Again, I already said my excuse. I'm not going to say another excuse. But yeah, this is your big reward in strongholds. This library right here, that's what you're going to want to look for. I think there's what... Are you serious? This was seriously across from where the end portal was. Literally across from where the end portal was. Are you serious? If I would have just explored just a little bit, I would have found that. I am salty. I am oh so salty. That... Whatever. Whatever. Alright, let's explore through here. This is the last little part. Not really... Ooh, that's pretty. I didn't think there'd be a waterfall here. Dang, prison. Oh, hi. I'm not even in survival mode. He can't hurt me, and yet he's still scared the piss out of me. Oh, this should tell you how much of a wuss I am when it comes to Minecraft, and wow. Wow. This is an interesting room. I guess it should tell you just how I'm gonna feel whenever the warden comes out in Minecraft next year. Like, oh god, that thing is gonna scare the living bejesus out of me. I mean, granted, my Let's Play should be long completed by then. Well, maybe. I don't actually know. I usually record these videos pretty far in advance, and I upload them much later. Like, for example, I'm probably not gonna upload this video till, like, end of November. Yeah, I'm recording this in the middle of October. So that should tell you how far in advance I record stuff. Whoa! What is this room? What is this? What is this? Redstone? Okay, this is new. I didn't think there was just a room. Just a room in the middle of the stronghold that just has wood and cobblestone. That's... Oh, hello. Ah! I hear baby zombies. Now, one of the other things about strongholds that I probably should mention is the fact that... Oh, hello. Oh! Oh, that's new! I haven't talked about that. Yeah, baby zombies can ride on the heads of adult zombies. And if you kill the adult zombie, then the baby zombie comes and attacks you. Yeah, one of the big things that makes strongholds kind of a maze is the fact that they have, like, these unfinished hallways. And essentially, they kind of want you to dig through them in order to continue through the stronghold. And this just looks stupid right here. What? This just looks stupid. The fact that this stronghold's like halfway built inside of this cave. It looks so dumb. I love it. I think that's actually everything. Yeah, I actually think that's everything. Yeah, I don't really think there's going to be anything else unless I do decide to like dig through the walls and stuff, which again, I usually don't do that. That's kind of one of the things that makes strongholds a little bit of a maze, is like it's designed in a way where it kind of encourages you to... Oh, hello, gentlemen. It kind of encourages you to dig alongside these, unfinished hallways in order to find your way through. But for me, I always just find the library and just dig in the walls, and I've had luck that way. But that may not work for you, because again, Minecraft is a randomly generated game. Whatever works for me might not work for you. I mean, hell, both times I have ever found a stronghold, it has been directly below a village. Apparently, that's incredibly rare. Apparently, that doesn't happen all that often, at least from the research that I've gathered. But yet, both worlds I've ever fought and killed the Ender Dragon in, the strongholds were above a village. And an abandoned village did. No. Excuse me. My mistake. The stronghold in my server world actually has a habitable village. But this one, an uninhabited village. But yeah, that's everything that I wanted to show. I just wanted to show the rest of the stronghold. As we never really got to show that off. So I'm just going to dig my way on out of here, as I would do it the normal way in creative mode, which is just dig all the way up to the top. And hey! Good timing, because my... Wait, that was... Huh. That was directly above the house. Good timing, because my potion is now out. Now, as a way to end things off on today's video, yes, I know I've tried ending this video like 3 times now, I remembered that I really want to go through the poem that plays at the ending credits to Minecraft, as it scrolls through so quickly. For how much text there actually is, it makes it very difficult to read it on your first, or hell, even second playthrough. So, because I was able to record it, I was able to go through the footage, and I'm able to read it at my own pace, so I figured we'll just do that. We'll read through it, and at the end, I'll give what most people interpret the poem as well as my own personal interpretation of things. I see the player you mean. The Mighty Blues? Yes. Take care. It has reached a higher level now. It can read our thoughts. That doesn't matter. It thinks we are part of the game. I like this player. It played well. It did not give up. It is reading our thoughts as though they were words on a screen. That is how it chooses to imagine many things when it is deep in the dream of a game. Words have a wonderful interface, very flexible, and less terrifying than staring at any reality behind the screen. They used to hear voices before players could read. Back in the days when those who did not play called the players witches and warlocks, and players dreamed they flew through the air on sticks powered by demons. What did this player dream? This player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed it created, and it dreamed it destroyed. It dreamed it hunted, and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter. Ha! The original interface, 1,000,000 years old, and it still works. But what true structure did this player create in the reality behind the screen? It worked with 1,000,000 others to sculpt a true world and fold of blank, and created a blank for blank in the blank. It cannot read that, though. It cannot read that thought. No, it has not yet achieved the highest level. That it must achieve in the long dream of life, not the short dream of a game. Does it not know that we love it? That the universe is kind? Sometimes, through the noise of its thoughts, it hears the universe, yes. But there are times it is sad in the long dream. It creates worlds that have no summer, and it shivers under a black sun, and it takes its sad creation for reality. To cure it of sorrow would destroy it. The sorrow is part of its own private task. We cannot interfere. Sometimes, when they are deep in dreams, I want to tell them they are building true worlds in reality. Sometimes I want to tell them of their importance to the universe. Sometimes, when they have not made a true connection in a while, I want to help them to speak the word they fear. It read our thoughts. Sometimes I do not care. Sometimes I wish to tell them this world you take for truth is merely blank and blank. I wish to tell them that they are blank in the blank. They see so little of reality in their long dream, and yet they play the game. It would be so easy to tell them. Too strong for this dream. To tell them how to live is to prevent them from living. I will not tell the player how to live. The player is growing restless. I will tell the player a story, but not the truth. No. A story that contains the truth safely in a cage of words, not the naked truth that can burn over any distance. Give it a body, again. Yes, player. Use its names. The Mighty Blues, player of games. Good. Take a breath now. Take another. Feel air in your lungs. Let your limbs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again. Under gravity and air. Respawn in the long dream. There you are, your body touching the universe again at every point, as though you were separate things. As though we were separate things. Who are we? Once we were called the spirit of the mountain. Father Sun, Mother Moon, ancestral spirits, animal spirits, jinn, ghosts, the green man, then gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, aliens, extraterrestrials, leptons, quarks. The words change. We do not change. We are the universe. We are everything you think isn't you. You are looking at us now through your skin and your eyes. And why does the universe touch your skin and throw light on you? To see you, player. To know you. And to be known. I shall tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a player. The player was you, the Mighty Blues. Sometimes it thought itself human. On the thin crust of a spinning globe of molten rock, the ball of molten rock circled a ball of blazing gas that was 330,000 more massive than it. They were so far apart that light took 8 minutes to cross the gap. The light was information from a star, and it could burn your skin from 150 million kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of a world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of white. The days were short. There was much to do. And death was a temporary inconvenience. Sometimes the player dreamed it was lost in a story. Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things in other places. Sometimes these dreams were disturbing. Sometimes very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke from one dream into another, then woke from that into a third. Sometimes the player dreamed it watched words on a screen. Let's go back. The atoms of a player were scattered in the grass, in the rivers, in the air, in the ground. A woman gathered the atoms. She drank and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body. And the player awoke from the warm, dark world of its mother's body into the long dream. And the player was a new story, never told before, written in letters of DNA. And the player was a new program, never run before, generated by a source code a billion years old. The player was a new human, never alive before, made from nothing but milk and love. You are the player, the story, the program, the human, made from nothing but milk and love. Let's go further back. The 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created, long before this game in the heart of a star. So the player, too, is information from a star, and the player moves through a story, which is a forest of information planted by a man called Julian, on a flat, infinite world created by a man called Marcus, that exists inside a small, private world created by the player, who inhabits a universe created by... Shush. Sometimes the player created a small, private world that was soft and warm and simple, sometimes hard and cold and complicated. Sometimes it built a model of the universe in its head, flecks of energy moving through the vast empty spaces. Sometimes it called those flecks electrons and protons. Sometimes it called them planets and stars. Sometimes it believed it was in a universe that was made of energy, that was made of offs and ons, zeros and ones, lines of code. Sometimes it believed it was playing a game. Sometimes it believed it was reading words on a screen. You are the player, reading words. Shush. Sometimes the player reads lines of codes on a screen, decoded them into words, decoded words into meaning, decoded meanings into feelings, emotions, theories, ideas, and the player started to breathe faster and deeper and realized it was alive. It was alive. Those 1,000 deaths had not been real. The player was alive. You are alive. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the light that fell from the crisp night sky of winter, where a fleck of light in the corner of the player's eye might be a star 1,000,000 times as massive as the sun, boiling its planets to plasma in order to be visible for a moment to the player. Walking home at the far side of the universe, suddenly smelling food, almost at the familiar door, about to dream again. And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrolling words on a screen at the end of a dream. And the universe said, "I love you." And the universe said, "You have played the game well." And the universe said, "Everything you need is within you." And the universe said, "You are stronger than you know." And the universe said, "You are the daylight." And the universe said, "You are the night." And the universe said, "The darkness you fight is within you." And the universe said, "The light you seek is within you." And the universe said, "You are not alone." And the universe said, "You are not separate from every other thing." And the universe said, "You are the universe tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code." And the universe said, "I love you because you are love." And the game was over, and the player woke up from the dream. And the player began a new dream. And the player dreamed again, dreamed better. And the player was the universe. And the player was love. You are the player. Wake up. I've often seen online that people interpret this poem as Minecraft's theory to the meaning of life. And that very much makes sense. That very much is just a poem of Minecraft interpreting the meaning of life, the meaning of the universe through all means necessary, which very much makes a lot of sense. That's very much in tandem with Minecraft as a core concept. The concept that it's basically just millions and billions of worlds being created for the enjoyment of others. It really is a testament to how fantastic of a concept Minecraft can be, even though as simple as it can be. I'm not about to get philosophical here, trust me. As someone who absolutely loves philosophy, I'm someone who could easily just get sucked into philosophy. It's part of the reason why I'm forever single and why people don't like talking to me, is I love philosophy. I'm not about to get philosophical here. This is a Minecraft Let's Play after all. I mostly just wanted to read through that because that's a really good poem. That's a really good poem, and I feel like not enough people who play Minecraft to know about it because, well, hundreds of millions of people have grown up playing Minecraft and still play Minecraft to this day, and countless generations are still playing this game and creating new experiences. Hell, my younger cousin is literally part of an entirely separate generation to me. I'm 22, he's 6, and we both love Minecraft as much as one another. Like, we both equally love Minecraft the same amount. That's a really good way to end off the game. That's a really good way to end off the game, of just having this poem that goes over the meaning of life and the meaning of universe through a game that its core concept is just having never-ending stories. I absolutely love that. So, that was the end game poem. And that's everything that I wanted to cover for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and next time on Minecraft, we return to the end in order to grab ourselves an Elytra, and hopefully start the process of fighting the Wither. And until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.